Welcome to this week's episode. I got a Baitcaster. And I'm going to show you how to cast it. Alright, so the first thing you want to do before you even cast it is you have your lure on there. You want to check the tensioner, and what that does, it controls how fast the spool spins or doesn't spin. So when you have your lure on here, the way I got it on now, and how you're going to test it is you just hit the spool release button and it'll drop down. Your lure will drop down. Now you don't want it to come down too quick. That's a little quick, so we're gonna turn the spool tensioner up a little bit. See, now that's not what you want. If you disengaged your spool and your lure does not drop, it stays exactly the same. You have your spool way too tight, and you're gonna have a rough day casting. So what you want is and you don't want this either. Turn it all the way loose. You don't want that. You don't want that super fast, because what'll happen is that'll spin. If you don't stop the spool in time, you're just gonna have the spool is just gonna continuously spool offline, and you're gonna have major issues. So you just want happy medium. You don't want too tight, don't want too loose. Just a nice free flowing. I like that right there. Not too quick. Not too quick, and it's nice. A little better. So that's what you want. Disengage, boom. You don't want that. Don't want that. That means it's way too tight. And you don't want that. That's way too fast. So you just want somewhere in the middle of that. That's right there. That's what you want. So once you get that figured out, now you're ready to make a cast. First step, and you want to have this in the palm of your hand. I'm a righty. I cast over my right side and switch back here and reel with my right hand. A lot of guys, they can cast it, I guess, left-handed and then reel with their right hand, but I can't do that, so I have to cross over in that. So whatever feels more comfortable for you, do that. First thing, reel in the palm of your hand. You're gonna wanna disengage the spool, but have your thumb on the spool, keeping that line tight. And what you're gonna do when you cast it, you're gonna loosen that. You're gonna loosen it and let the spool free spool. But then when that lure hits that water, you got to stop the line with your thumb, because if you don't, you're gonna have a big rat's nest, and I'll show you that here in a bit. So, and you want to go, it's easier too to go sidearm. As you get more advanced, you can go over the top or backhand, whatever. But for starting off, you just want to go sidearm like that. Again, thumb, disengage, you're free spooling now. You're gonna bring it back, throw it out, loosen your thumb. As soon as it hits, stop the spool with your thumb. And then engage the spool with the handle, with the one crank of the handle. And then you're ready to reel in your lure. I'll show you that again here. I don't know if this really gets it real well, but again, thumb, disengage, come back, loosen your thumb, let it free spool, lure hits the water, you stop it with your thumb. Disengage, come back, loosen your thumb, engage, and reel in. Now, I'll show you here, if your tensioner is not set right, but this is what's gonna happen. Boom. It's called a backlash. You see, I also call it a rat's nest, but that is gonna happen to everyone. So what happens is, again, the tensioner is not set right. Your spool is spinning, but your thumb wasn't controlling it enough. So what happened was it overspooled, and you end up with this mess. Easiest way to do this, I would recommend, if you are just starting out casting a baitcaster, spool your baitcaster with braided line. It is the easiest line to get backlashes out of. The line is more durable than if you use fluorocarbon and monofilament. As you progress, you can advance up to fluorocarbon and monofilament, but for just starting out, I would use braided line. So what you're going to want to do is, they have special tools too for this, but you can use your fingers. Save you some extra dollars. So what I do, I come in here, do you see this big clump here? I'm just going to come in here and just start pulling up that clump. And once I get that clump all loosened up, I'm going to pull the line. All right, now see, I'm caught again. Get that clump, loosen it up. Keep pulling. And you want to keep pulling. You want to keep your thumb too on the spool at some point too, but you want to keep pulling until your reel is free of any knots. Engage the reel, engage the spool, and you want to hold your loose line when you pull it out. Hold it tight and just reel it back in until you're back to normal. You always want to reel it in tight, because if it's loose, you're going to have even more issues. And that's how you get the backlash out. They sell casting plugs, and I'll put one here up on the screen. And what you do is you just tie it on like a normal lure, no hooks on it, and you just go around and cast around and reel it back in, and won't get caught on anything. So that's a good practice tool. And it's just called a casting plug. You can find it at any fishing store. You just sit in your backyard and cast, or go to the park and cast. Don't necessarily have to come to a lake. So that's the basics on how to cast a baitcaster. We'll run through here real quick again. You got low profile baitcaster, you got your reel handle, you got your drag, you got your spool tensioner, you got your spool, you got your spool guide out in the front. You can't see it, but you got your reel seat, which holds to the rod. You got your spool release button, and then you have your brake. Again, personally, I've never used it, don't know what it does, but I'm sure somebody out there knows what it does. If you do, if you have used the baitcaster before and you use the brake quite often, comment down below and let me know, and let the others know what the brake is used for and how to use that when you're throwing a baitcaster. But super simple. Get yourself a casting plug, tie it on just like you would a lure. Go in your backyard, the park, just cast it around. Remember, you want to have your tensioner set correctly. You don't want it too tight, you don't want it too loose, you want it just right. And when you go to cast, thumb on the button and the spool, disengage, keep your thumb on the spool. Back here, hold the side on, thumb on the spool, reel hits the water, and you put it down, engage the reel it in, and that's how you cast it. Appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you guys learned something new about casting a baitcaster. If you have questions, comment down below. Let me know. I'm able to answer them for you. And then this episode's poll question for those guys who have casted baitcasters. At what age did you first start casting a baitcaster? For me, now fishing, I use it every time I go out. So comment down below, let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We're going to be posting a video every week. Hopefully this video helped you guys who have never casted a baitcaster before, or hopefully it helped some of you who have, but just didn't know the dynamics of the baitcaster. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.